Welcome back to XRP Economic Radar. A well-known crypto analyst has just made a bold move that's turning heads across the XRP community, and it's happening at a moment that could define XRP's next major trend. While many investors remain cautious after months of price weakness, Crypto Michael has publicly stated that he's buying XRP right now. That alone is grabbing attention, but what's even more important is where XRP is sitting on the chart. According to his analysis, XRP is approaching a critical technical point that has historically preceded explosive moves. For XRP holders watching every price swing, every Ripple update, and every XRP breakout signal, this development could have major implications. The question isn't whether traders are paying attention. The question is whether this setup is about to become one of the most talked about XRP price prediction stories of the year. What makes this situation especially compelling is the timing. XRP has spent months moving through a difficult period after reaching highs above $3 in 2025. Since then, the asset has gradually declined, testing the patience of long-term investors and creating uncertainty across the broader crypto market. Yet beneath the surface, something different may be developing. The latest weekly chart shared by Crypto Michael suggests that XRP is no longer simply drifting lower. Instead, it appears to be entering a technical structure that many traders associate with powerful reversals. And while countless market participants are still waiting for confirmation, Michael has already revealed his position. But the specific chart pattern behind his confidence may be even more important than the statement itself, and we'll get to that in just a moment. To understand why this analysis is attracting attention, it's important to look at the broader context. XRP's price action over recent months has been characterized by decreasing volatility and tighter trading ranges. In many cases, when an asset transitions from large price swings into a compressed structure, it signals that buyers and sellers are reaching a temporary equilibrium. Markets rarely remain in that state forever. Eventually, one side gains control and forces a directional move. That's exactly why traders often monitor consolidation periods so closely. For investors following Ripple news, XRP breakout opportunities, and long-term XRP price predictions, these periods can become defining moments. The challenge, however, is determining whether the compression will resolve to the upside or the downside. That's where Crypto Michael's chart begins to offer a more specific interpretation. The chart highlights two descending yellow trend lines that have guided XRP's movement throughout the correction phase. Together, those trend lines form what many technical analysts describe as a falling wedge pattern. The upper line connects a series of lower highs, while the lower line links the declining lows established during the downtrend. What's notable now is that XRP has moved toward the narrow end of that structure, where the two trend lines begin converging. This convergence often creates increasing pressure as the available trading range shrinks. Traders frequently compare it to a spring being compressed tighter and tighter before release. While no technical pattern guarantees success, the market's behavior inside this wedge is precisely why many investors are beginning to pay closer attention. And one specific price zone identified on the chart could become the key battleground if momentum accelerates. At the time of the analysis, XRP was trading around the $1.24 area, following a weekly gain of roughly 4.2%. On the surface, that may not seem extraordinary. However, the significance comes from where that gain occurred. XRP is now testing the upper portion of the wedge structure, while simultaneously approaching a descending resistance line that has repeatedly limited upward movement. This creates a critical technical decision point. Either resistance continues to hold, extending the consolidation phase, or buyers finally push through and trigger a breakout scenario. Crypto Michael clearly believes the second outcome deserves attention. His chart doesn't merely show current price action, it presents a visual roadmap suggesting where XRP could travel if bullish momentum begins building from this level. Rather than focusing on distant projections or speculative long-term targets, Michael's chart identifies a more immediate objective. The analyst highlighted a purple resistance zone between approximately $1.90 and $2.10. This area represents the first major target shown on the chart. A white arrow extends from XRP's current position toward that zone, illustrating the path Michael expects if the bullish reversal unfolds as anticipated. Importantly, his public statement was straightforward. He wrote that he's buying XRP here while expressing confidence that a breakout is approaching and that a bullish reversal is coming. For traders seeking clarity amid market uncertainty, That level of conviction naturally attracts attention. Yet the true significance may lie not in the target itself, but in what reaching that zone would signal to the broader market. One reason falling wedges receive so much attention among technical analysts is their tendency to form near the later stages of corrective trends. As price action contracts and volatility declines, market participants often become less emotional and more selective. That process can gradually reduce selling pressure while allowing buyers to establish stronger positions. Looking at XRP's chart, the shrinking candle sizes and tighter trading behavior suggest exactly that type of environment. Months ago, volatility dominated headlines. Today, compression is becoming the story. This doesn't guarantee a breakout, but it does create conditions where a decisive move becomes increasingly likely. The longer price remains compressed inside a narrowing structure, the more market participants begin anticipating a breakout event. And one additional technical detail could determine whether the bullish thesis remains intact. While much of the focus is understandably on overhead resistance, the lower boundary of the wedge remains equally important. Throughout XRP's consolidation period, price has repeatedly found support near the lower trendline. Every successful defense of that area has helped preserve the overall wedge structure. As long as XRP continues trading above that support region, the broader bullish setup remains valid according to the framework outlined in Michael's analysis. For long-term XRP holders, this creates a relatively clear technical reference point. The market is essentially balancing between established support and major resistance. The closer price moves toward the wedge apex, the more pressure builds. Eventually, the market will likely make its choice, and when it does, volatility could return quickly to XRP trading activity. For investors who have remained committed through months of uncertainty, this setup carries broader implications than a simple chart pattern. XRP has long occupied a unique position within the digital asset sector due to its association with Ripple, its large global community, and its role in discussions surrounding blockchain-based financial infrastructure. Because of that, significant XRP price movements often attract attention beyond the immediate trading community. If bullish momentum develops and XRP begins challenging the resistance zone highlighted by Crypto Michael, market sentiment could shift rapidly. Positive momentum tends to attract additional participation, which can amplify price movement. That's one reason why XRP breakout discussions frequently become major topics across social platforms, trading communities, and broader cryptocurrency markets. Looking ahead, the primary focus remains on whether XRP can successfully break through the descending resistance that has constrained price action for months. Traders will likely monitor volume, momentum indicators, and the market's reaction to resistance tests very closely. A convincing breakout could strengthen confidence in the bullish reversal thesis and place the highlighted $1.90 to $2.10 zone firmly in focus. On the other hand, continued rejection would suggest the consolidation phase is not yet complete. Either way, the coming weeks may provide some of the clearest signals XRP investors have seen in months. With technical compression increasing and market attention returning, the next move could play an important role in shaping XRP price predictions across the crypto market. If you're watching XRP, following Ripple developments, tracking XRP breakout opportunities, or looking for the latest XRP price prediction analysis, this is definitely a chart worth keeping on your radar. Crypto Michael has made his position clear, and now the market will determine whether this bullish reversal setup delivers on its promise. What do you think? Does XRP have enough momentum to break out toward the highlighted resistance zone? Or will the consolidation continue a little longer? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with fellow XRP investors. And for more breaking XRP news, Ripple updates, crypto market analysis, and exclusive coverage, keep it locked right here on XRP Economic Radar.